if you watched the other episode of the Index, I wouldn't. Right? But so I'm gonna look through and make sure we don't get another book full of words. You know what I'm saying, if we're gonna look at automobiles, we at least gotta look at the pictures, right? That's the whole reason I thought they were interesting. If I knew, I would have tossed him away, right? We got quarterly, yeah. It's because the other one said index on the front. It's my own fault. I didn't look at that. But let's talk. I mean, we got 3 red ones, a black one, and a blue one. Let's go with knocking out some of these red ones. Again, we're gonna look kind of like this. So just like you guys are my students in class. I think I've seen this advertisement somewhere. I don't know where I've seen it. You see it? I think it's pretty popular. But let me show you so you can pause and read your own table of contents. All right. The Forgotten Steam Buggy. The Duesenberg. I remember the Duesenbergs. Number 13, the Bad Luck Special. Duesenberg Circa 65. Auto Flea Market. The PM Sigma or PF Sigma for safety's sake. By 1970, 200 miles an hour on the highway. That got my attention right there. Boom, we're going to do it. Now there's more, but that got my attention. 394. I thought they were going to give us a nice picture starting it off, but no, they didn't. So, boom. There it is. You can kind of see 200 miles an hour on the freeway. It is... What? Of course, I'm going to pick the one thing where there's not a single bloody picture. Are you kidding me? There's no picture on here. We'll go back. Let's go find something else interesting. Alright, we gotta find pictures. Number 13, 374. Racecar driving, I guess. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at him. All right. So the number 13. Boom. So here we go. That's kind of a start of the chapter. Race drivers have been known to arouse the ear of other members of their fraternity by defying one or more auto racing superstitions, often in an effort to draw special attention to themselves. Appearance on any American track of the unlucky green car, for example, is a solid guarantee of extra publicity. But no one has ever created a greener foyer than Wilbur Delane, pictured left. This guy. Him. 50 years ago, when he wheeled his Duesenberg Special number 13, so I'm guessing this is in 1925 since this book is around 1916, so it was much longer than I thought. Wow, that's crazy. It doesn't even look that bad. He looks, I mean, besides his swim cap, whatever he's wearing, you know what I'm saying, it looks basically kind of like a person of today. Let's get back to where we were. Number 13 in the starting lineup for the inaugural 300-mile event at the brand new Board Speedway in Cincinnati. The date was September 4th, 1916, and Delane's action fomented such consternation among his fellow race participants before and after the event that there is no record of anyone having used that bad luck number again in a major championship race. During the early days of the motor racing, no standard procedure existed to determine car identification numbers or starting positions. Such details were left to the discretion of promoters or American Automobile Association officials in charge of the various events. At Indianapolis, for example, the system in effect in 1916 called for assignment of car numbers by speedway officials, with starting positions to be decided on the basis of speeds recorded in pre-race time trials. At some tracks, however, both car numbers and starting positions were determined by the luck of the draw, and it was customary to omit 13 when making a drawing because nearly everyone regarded it as jinx. So the number 13, I really wonder where in the world did it come from that 13 is an unlucky number? Because this is 1916 and they were saying 13 was a negative number or like an unlucky number. So what is with this number 13? Why does everyone say it's a negative number? That's not for this conversation, but just my own question. Okay, so basically what he was saying is he got the lucky 13 number just off of dumb luck. He went over to the Fred Wagner of the time, which was the AAA starter. He went up there and he said, I want 13. Wagner said no. Delane challenged him, pointing out there's nothing in the rule book. You can't have 13 numbered. And boom. So here's Wagner, and I'm guessing this is Delane, insisted that other drivers would object. I don't care if they do, Delane reported, unless they're willing to have 13 placed in the box with the other numbers and take the chance of drawing it for their own cars. They don't have any right to tell me I can't use it. I believe it might bring me good luck. Wagner finally agreed to at least to consider the request, but when the other drivers learned about it, an angry dispute developed. Some threatened to punch Delane in the nose if he didn't withdraw the request, and almost all of them protested that everyone in the race would be jinxed by the presence of the 13 car. However, when Wagner finally agreed to let Delane use the number, the protests were pretty much stilled. The other drivers reluctantly agreed among themselves that it would be better to let Delane use 13 than risk the possibility that any of them would draw the number. But it's a stupid kid stunt, explained Tom Alley. Oh, well, no. So this is Delane right here. This is over here. This is Wagner, and then this is Tom Alley. So some of your beginning race car drivers, right? He told Delane, "You'll be putting the curse on all of us, and I bet you 5-1 you won't even finish the race." Delane made known to Alley that he would accept the challenge. If you want to put up $5, just like this one, he pulled a $5 bill out of his pocket. "It's a crime to take your money," said Alley. The bet was on. 28 cars answered the starting flag. Ralph De Palma set a pace at nearly 110 miles an hour to grab an early lead, but a connecting rod in his Mercedes broke on the 12th lap, and he was out. Mechanical trouble claimed 7 other cars during the first 100 miles. Clutch fails, broken valves, and overheated engines eliminated 8 more contenders during the second 100 miles. As Dario Resta and Johnny Atkin battled for supremacy in Pogot's at the head of the pack, Jill Anderson's struts overturned after hitting a chunk of thread torn from the tire of another car, and only 11 cars were remaining running as the final 100 miles began. The final 100 miles? How many miles was this thing? What, 300 miles? Oh, I think it was 300. Yeah, 300 miles. So out of only 11 cars, how many started? Anyways, I don't see it. I'm not going back. But with 70 miles to go, a broken rod in the Hoskins he was driving ended Allies' chances of winning his bet with Delane. Valve Trouble claimed 2 more victims at about the same time, and with only 12 miles to go, Resta was unable to start his overheated engine after a forced pit stop for water. Atkin ultimately won the race by a margin of 4 minutes 29 seconds over Delane, and only 5 other cars would go the full distance. So literally every car broke down. Acton collected 12,000, Delane 6, including the amount of his wager, but Ale won his point concerning the use of 13. At an early meeting of the AAA contest board, Rule 811A pertaining no car identification numbers were discussed at length, and by unanimous vote, 13 was permanently banned from the AAA competition. All right, well, I'll have to find a little bit of a different story since we basically just read the whole story. So it was not unlucky to him. He made money, made $5,000 back in the day. That's good money. Now, they eventually outlawed the number 13 car, but it's kind of interesting to know that at one point in time it was not outlawed, and at one point in time it actually won money. So that was much better than the index. Hope you guys enjoyed that little story of car history.